Shalom, friends, and welcome to Walking the Ancient Path, where we journey back into the language, landscape, and life rhythms of the Scriptures in a lighter, more accessible way, exploring the world of the Bible as its original listeners would have experienced it. I'm your host, Sully, joined by our trusted companions, Decan, our scholar of ancient Hebrew thought, and Hope, a storyteller who seems to walk right out of the hills of Judea. Today, we'll answer the question, who were Paul's Hellenistic hearers?
Paul's Mediterranean journey led him through a series of vibrant Greco-Roman cities, Philippi, Thessalonica, Athens, Corinth, and Ephesus. Here are two quick highlights from a couple cities to give you a sense of their unique character.
Athens was renowned for its intellectual prestige, bustling with Stoics and Epicureans, all eager to explore new teachings, but showing little interest in bodily resurrection. When Paul interacted with the altar space and used creation language, he then shifted toward discussions of judgment and resurrection, which created some tension with the diverse religious practices and the preferences of the elite.
Corinth was renowned as a vibrant commercial center, lively with intense status competition, generous benefactions, and a culture of sexual permissiveness. In contrast, Paul offers a different perspective with a cross-shaped honor code that promotes unity beyond social status, encourages chastity, and urges discernment regarding idle feasts. He reshapes the ideas of charis and koinonia from mere patronage into a gracious fellowship rooted in grace.
History shows us that his listeners were a diverse group, including Jewish communities living outside of Israel, with Gentiles connected to synagogues. His listeners also consisted of Greek and Roman townspeople influenced by classical education, civic life, and temple religion. Additionally, the audience made up of tradespeople, freed people, and elites who were part of patron-client networks and honor-shame codes.
The philosophical atmosphere was centered around reason, order, and the well-formed soul. Even though most people weren't professional philosophers, both elite culture and popular moral teachings drew inspiration from these major schools, making philosophy a meaningful part of everyday life.
The school of Platonism and Middle Platonism share a beautiful idea. Reality is layered, with the sensible world giving them clues to higher, non-material forms. It's also believed that the soul is immortal, and through reason and virtue, they thought it helped the soul to rise and flourish.
Aristotelian ethics taught them that living their best lives comes from developing good habits like practical wisdom, courage, moderation, and justice, values that shine through in their communities and political lives.
Stoicism, which was quite influential during Paul's time, promoted the idea of a rational and divine order, logos, that inspires everything around them. The wise live according to nature, embracing self-control, endurance, and universal kindness within a shared world of humanity.
Epicureanism shares that while gods exist, they are distant beings. It encourages living a good life filled with stable pleasures like modesty, friendship, and a sense of freedom from fears, especially fears of divine anger or what comes after. Today, Epicurean ideas are still alive in conversations about happiness and well-being. They highlight the beauty of simple living, moderation, and the value of community. To them, these timeless principles continue to inspire modern philosophies and lifestyles, such as minimalism and the quest for inner peace.
Even beyond the school walls, street-level moralists and handbooks spread this inspiring language of reason, virtue, and a well-ordered self, making these ideas more accessible and relatable to everyone's everyday lives. Let's explore how Greek virtues and social ideals influenced the behavior of the Greco-Roman people listening to Paul. The main virtues, wisdom, courage, moderation, justice, were not just personal qualities. They also reflected in public life.
In the areas of the household and sexuality, a well-ordered household reflected the harmony of a well-ordered city, with sexual restraint demonstrating self-control. Marriage was seen as a vital civic good, while concubinage and prostitution, though common, were subjects of ongoing debate, often viewed through the lens of virtue.
Public generosity, like building community baths, temples, and festivals, was a wonderful way to earn honor. It helped build reputation, elevate status, and foster friendships and mutual obligations, creating a strong sense of community and connection.
The citizen's duty was to engage in the community and participate in the city's activities. Failing to do so or being impious by refusing sacrifices could threaten the harmony and unity of society.
Next, let's look into how they connected with their gods. Hellenistic religion was more about rituals, mutual support, and their presence rather than strict beliefs.
Sacrifices, processions, and festivals bound city and deity. Piety meant doing what kept the gods and the city in harmony.
Daily offerings to hearth and ancestor spirits, along with oaths by gods, are often accompanied by votive gifts, which are given for healings or safe journeys. This tradition reflects a deep respect and hope for protection and well-being.
The mystery cults of Eleusis, Isis, and Mithras offered followers a sense of purification, a warm sense of community, and hope that extended beyond death through their special initiation rituals.
Honoring the emperor as both lord and a generous supporter was a way to show loyalty and respect to Rome.
Some people viewed the gods more spiritually, particularly among the Stoics and Platonists. They often spoke about a highest god or divine reason, while still respecting civic rights. Basically, gods were seen as social partners. You honored them, and they, in turn, favored you. Religion brought together household life, work, politics, and personal identity, creating a sense of community and shared purpose.
Let's explore how this worldview influences their ideas about morality, politics, and personal conduct.
They aim to achieve a state of good spirit, which is often called happiness or welfare. This is cultivated through learned virtue, proving self-control, dignity, and generosity. Feelings of shame and honor help guide moral behavior, encouraging us to act responsibly and kindly.
Cult and city politics were deeply interconnected. Being considered good meant embodying the ideals of a responsible citizen, a generous benefactor, an enthusiastic festival participant, and a trustworthy oath keeper.
When it comes to their personal conduct, they are encouraged to manage their passions, take good care of their body, seeing it as a tool of the soul, respect the bonds of patronage, and fulfill their ritual obligations with sincerity.
Paul addressed a world that deeply valued reasoned virtue, civic piety, and social honor. He celebrated true moral understanding and even used familiar words. Yet he brought everything back to the one Elohim, Yahweh, who raised Yeshua from the dead and poured out the Ruach to form a loving, cruciform community. To many Greeks, that was astonishing and foolish. For others, it was the richer wisdom their philosophies had been searching for but couldn't fully provide.
Next time, we'll explore how hearing Paul's message sparked some challenges and doubts in the people's beliefs. Why was this new message so dangerous? Why would this lead to persecution?